Commercial work. Um, yeah, preliminary sketches in the fine arts world, like they can be laborious as well or hard work. But um, when it comes to commercial work, it really, really is, contrary to what many people may think, it's the sketch work that is a pain, hard, hard mental work. When you finally get down to the final illustration, so here again, I'm talking really today about illustration work. And so let me give you an idea what I'm doing here. I'm doing a plot map, an aerial view, a map of a subdivision that's being built. And I had a meeting with these people last week, and just to give you some idea, here's what they gave me. One photograph. Well, this is an illustration I did for them last year, and they're modifying it. So here it is with notes and changes again. And here's a CAD drawing with a bunch of notes. And here's another CAD drawing with a bunch of notes. And here's another CAD drawing of a different sort with a bunch of notes. And here's another, this is the drawing I did for them last year. They put the type on here, and there's notes on this as well. So just to give you some idea, in fact, I need to look at that right now. So I have 7 pages of reference, and I'm supposed to, make sense of it all. That's what they pay me for. That's what they pay, as we say, the big bucks for. Let me count and make sure we have the same number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good. We're good there. Now, their sidewalks go quite a bit different from mine. They actually have the gardening outlined on this CAD drawing right here. Anyway, I am not going to make you watch much of this. It is dreadfully boring. I mean, it's tedious. That's what it is. And but if by any chance, so there's my sketch so far. If any of you ever do work for commercial purposes, let me give you a word of warning. So this is hard-bought, hard-learned wisdom. Whoever's the boss man at my client, when I send this, email this out to my client, whoever's the person that's supposed to look at these, let me tell you something about boss man, boss woman, whatever that may be. Let me tell you something about that person. When that person left to their own devices, when the boss man, CEO, art director, whatever, looks at a sketch, here's how CEOs look at sketch. Yeah, whatever. All right? Okay? I promise that is how decision makers look at sketches. Do you know why? Because as soon as they hear the word sketch, they think this is just a rough sketch. That don't mean nothing. When in fact that sketch that I just tossed across the room, that sketch is my hours of hard work, and they're supposed to look at that. So here's what happens then. So I get an okay back from the boss man, boss woman. He or she says, "Yep, look good. Go ahead, go to the final." So then I spend, several more hours doing the final. Now that is not nearly as difficult because it's tedious, but you just sit here and draw and you put on a good podcast or something and listen to it. And then let's pretend this is the final. Where's a good one? Let's pretend this is the final. Here's now. This is, I didn't realize this was going to turn into a major ragging on the boss man, but this is true. This is wisdom for any of you that ever do any commercial work. Then the boss man, when he finally looks at the original, he goes, "Well, that ain't right. That ain't right." I wish I could be there in the office because I guarantee that is what they do. Sketch, yeah, whatever. Final artwork, they start cussing and swearing and say that ain't right, not knowing there's a connection. So here's as an illustrator, if you any of you ever do illustration, or if you do sketches like for a commission for a painting, you absolutely, whether you think they're nice people or not, you absolutely must get them to sign the rough sketch. Because now, when let me go across the room and get it. Since I shouldn't have tossed it so far. So now, when boss man or boss woman, when he gets the sketch and there's a space down here and it says sign here, then all of a sudden he goes, oh, wait a minute, I don't want to sign nothing. You can tell I don't like boss man very much. So, but then if he has to sign it, then he has to slow down and say, okay, wait a minute, maybe I should look at this, which of course is the fact. Not only that, once he signed it, boss man, grumpy face. Once he's signed it, then when he comes back and does changes on this, so if I charge him $1,000 for this illustration, he needs to understand that if he makes changes, he needs to pay another percentage, just whatever. If you have to change, how much more work do you have to do? If it's redo the whole thing, it's another $1,000. So that's why you need that signature. Some of you did not need to hear this today, but I hope one of you did, because I just saved your butt a whole bunch of pain and grief and anxiety if you ever do any commercial work. Okay, that's all. Glad I got that off my chest. Anyway, so I'm going to sit here in my office doing a lot of work for the next several hours, send it to boss man, ask for a signature, and probably everything will go just fine. Okay, thanks for watching.